throats were sliced. Oh, bless his holy name. Well, because I've been made and prepared for the certainties of God. And certainly, oh Shabbat, God has somewhere for me to go 100 miles a day. And so that just means because I've been made and prepared for the certainties of God, God's either going to give me 4 new tires or he's going to create a new automobile for me. Why? Because the only person that can do that thing that God has called me to do is me. Oh Shabbat. I've been made and prepared. Oh Shabbat. See, so there was preparation for the certainties of God. God has prepared me under the Osaya. Oh, bless your holy name. Oh Shabbat. Oh, bless your holy name. The Lord has prepared me. Oh Shabbat. And he's preparing many of you, oh Shabbat. He has prepared you for his certainties, oh Shabbat. See, you don't need to be formed and developed, oh Shabbat, by the apostle, the bishop, the elder, the brother, the sister, the mother, the father. No, because right now you're in that space where God has prepared you for his certainties. You have been made and prepared, designed for the certainties of God. And God is about to fulfill every promise, oh Shabbat. He's about to fulfill every call in your life. Oh, bless his holy name. I'm telling you, I'm talking about, you can look at this as an opportunity, oh Shabbat. Thank you, under the Osaya, for what? For life and growth. Look again at the oyster. One day a tiny grain of sand invades its shell, and it poses pain and distress, Ushaba. And the oyster could rebel and say, it can't be true that this is happening to me. It could give up and say, this foreign invasion is the end of me. Ushaba. Yeah, because you know, oftentimes, Ushaba, when the thing comes and invades your space, it's not something familiar. Ushaba. It's like somebody coming into your life. Ushaba. The man looks like a priest. Ushaba. But he's got funny ways and funny characteristics. Ushaba. It doesn't equate to under the deals. It doesn't add up to love. It doesn't add up to the priest. It doesn't add up to the man of God. And they just invade your space and your time. But thanks be unto God, we have him on our mind tonight. And God can do anything but fail. It could give up and say this foreign invasion is the end of me. It does neither. Under the Osaya, the oyster builds upon the grain of the sand, slowly, patiently, and with infinite care, covering it with a layer of milky plastic, a substance which becomes the beginning of a pearl. And the thing of pain is to transform into a thing of rare beauty and delight. Perhaps God's help, we can do the same, or it can come to us. God is preparing you, Oshaba. God has prepared you and made you for his certainties, Oshaba. Don't you give up now. Under the Osaya. Don't murmur and complain. Don't be disappointed. A wound of discouragement and of disappointment is a receptive to all kinds of infections. It cuts deeply and hurts badly. Bitterness can start growing there. Anger, hatred, grumbling, and worry and fear thrive on disappointments. You can easily throw up your hands and cry. What is the use of it all? Some disappointments are very serious to the subject. Ones of the Israelites facing their shortage of life-giving water. Others are more light-hearted, like that of a little boy who slipped into a side of a big tent, thinking it was a circus. After he got in, he discovered that a revival meeting was in progress, and no how he felt. I'm reminded, Shabbat, that little boy under the Osaya on 27th Street and River Road under the Osaya. I'm reminded of all the tents, Shabbat. I would go in the tents, Shabbat, and I didn't know what was happening. It didn't all happen at once. It was little by little, Shabbat. Sometimes, Shabbat, I had to hide my face because tears would run down my eyes. I want to say I sense the presence of God, Shabbat, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, under the Osaya, I was, you can get disappointed. You expect people to do one thing, Shabbat. You know, I had a really someone that I thought that was very special, and they had a major event, and I was so excited about the event, Shabbat. I knew that I was going to this event, but I never got an invitation. And so I became disappointed, Shabbat, at that particular time. But God, under the Osaya, how many know, Shabbat, God didn't want me at that appointment because he had somewhere else for me to be, Shabbat. Sometimes God removes you off of things, Shabbat, to bring you into something else, Shabbat. And if under the Osaya, if that wall was not put up, Shabbat, you would never be able to let that thing go. And if you don't let it go, you cannot grow and glow, Shabbat. I heard the Lord say, under the Osaya, fresh water's coming down, Shabbat, and it's going to drench you from your crown under the Osaya, and it's going to bring glory, Shabbat, to my name under the Osaya. Oh, bless his name, Shabbat, and we give his name praise, Shabbat, and we give his name glory. It's fresh water time, Shabbat. I don't know where you are, what you're dealing with, Shabbat. Loose me here under the Shabbat. God is able to bring you through under the Osaya. Yes, he can under the Osaya. I sense and I know it's rough for you, Shabbat. I know you're backed up against the wall under the Osaya, but you're in a place under the You're in a space, Shabbat, under the Osaya, for God to prove himself. You're in a space, you're in a good position for a miracle, Shabbat. I remember, Shabbat, about 9 years ago, Shabbat, maybe 10, Shabbat, I was outside playing around with one of my buddy's kids, Shabbat, and I slipped, Shabbat, and tore my Achilles, Shabbat, on my right leg, Shabbat, my Achilles, under the Osaya, Shabbat. I'm talking to somebody, Shabbat, that wants to experience water, Shabbat. I'm talking to somebody that is leaning, Shabbat, unto God under the Osaya. Prayer is the foundation that exists under the Osaya and that will remain, Shabbat. And so the story went like this, Shabbat. I began to limp around for 2 days, Shabbat. I'll never forget it. And my buddy told me, I've known him for over 40 years. He said, oh man, he said, listen, that ain't nothing but a sprained ankle. You just getting old. And this particular friend of mine, he's rough, Shabbat. You know, he's rough around the edges under the Osaya. Listen, he wouldn't know how to take care of a sore or ankle. He had one. You know, he just keep on working, Shabbat. And you know, I limped around, and then it just swelled up so much. And the ace bandage, all that stuff didn't help, and I was walking kind of like sideways. And yet I was built to take pain. You understand what I'm saying? That's just me. I was built to take pain. And so I had someone drive me to the ER. And when they drove me to the ER, and then they took me in the back and lifted up my legs and did the x-rays, and they could not believe that I was moving around on this leg or this Achilles these 2 days, because it was totally separated. It was very, very painful. So they immediately put me in a cast. Shabbat. I'm talking about fresh water and miracles. Shabbat. That's what the Lord is going to do over these 72 hours. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but guess what? This thing is subject to change. Shabbat. It's subject to an I know God is here, and I know God is with us, Shabbat. And so I left out of the hospital and I dropped the individuals off that took me to the hospital. And so it was my right leg, and I was driving that big Suburban around with a cast. You understand what I'm saying? It was my first time with crutches. And I went to the church picnic, and as soon as I got there, the people seen this cast on my leg. And it was their picnic, and they invited me and wanted me to come. And this woman, in front of all them people, got on her knees in front of me and began to pray over my leg in that cast. Oh, Shabbat. Hallelujah. Mandorobosi and Diosaya. Yeah, see, I was set up, oh Shabbat, to prove God. Let me tell you about the miracle. And so what happened was, after she prayed for me, I went. They were having a revival in the city. And so I went to this revival. And I had the cast and the crutch. I don't think I used the crutch. I may have, but I don't think so. But I limped up there, or hopped, or whatever it is, to up there and sat down. And then the next thing I knew, I got up. When I left, I went home. And when I went home, I felt real itchy. I felt very uncomfortable with the cast, and so I cut it off. That was on a Saturday. Saturday, I cut the cast off, and Monday I was scheduled to do an MRI, and so I cut the cast off, and I said to myself, when I cut the cast off, I got my oil. And I laid hands on my leg and I anointed them. I said, you called me to be your servant, the minister. And you said that these signs shall follow me, or follow them that believe. I should lay hands on the sick, and the sick shall recover. And I said, if I'm going to be a minister and I'm going to lay hands on sick people and you heal them, I'm a perfect candidate. I would like to start with me. Oh, Shabbat. And I bowed my heads and I tried to move myself the way I could to get to my leg, Achilles, and I began to anoint it. Oh, Shabbat. I anointed it, and I believe God for my healing. Oh, Shabbat. See, these are the things that God does with fresh water. I hope you're hearing me out there. I'm just talking to you in the beginning of this, and we're going to go and we're going to pray, and God's going to just have his way. Sometimes I'll just play soft music, and I'll just be sitting here in the quietness of the Lord. And then other times I'll just go forth, because I did an extensive outline on fresh water in different places. And so I went that Monday and got the MRI, and what they did was they put a boot on my ankle, like a big black boot, and it was more comfortable for me to be able to drive and everything. I know it could have been dangerous with the cast, but I was driving with it. And the next day, I went to the cleaners. That same day, I went to the cleaners. And when I went to the cleaners, I was at the cleaners, and the owner of the cleaners, she seen me limping, and she came around from the counter. This was a Korean woman. Oh, bless his name. And she knelt down and she prayed over my ankle, just like the other lady. And the last one was in the mall. And I never had any screws or any operation. Why am I saying this to you? Whatever the space and you are in this place, in this position, it is an opportunity for God to allow you to tap a rock and grant you your miracle. God said that all the provisions and all the needs of the people would be met in this in this 72 hours. I know what I'm feeling in my spirit. I have never been so in such a quiet place where, typically